Hello gamers and welcome back to episode 4 of the hardcore Superflat world. Today I would like to take a break from all of the building that we have gone up to in this area, and I'd like to focus on improving our tools, our armor, and actually defeat the dragon. I am very happy with the way that this whole area came out, and I realized in the last episode I never gave you guys a full bird's eye view of how this island is looking. So if we come out here into free cam, you can see this is the whole area that we're working with. There are definitely some more buildings that I'd like to add in here, and of course add in a nice big beautiful mountain back here, but we are not doing any of that today, and instead are going to focus on some enchanting, some farm building, and overall dragon killing. To help keep my thoughts together of all of the different things that I'd like to achieve in this episode, we are going to keep going with our handy dandy to-do book. Let's start a new page and let's focus on what our game plan is. There are a number of farms that I would like to get done in this world. One of the first farms that I would like to build is a gold farm. To go along with that gold farm, we're going to need a piglin bartering farm. I would also like to make a ghast farm for easy access to ghast tiers to summon all 20 dragons needed to unlock all of the gateways, as well as some gunpowder for the rockets that I'm hoping we'll need in the future once we get an Elytra. I would also like to build a fortress farm, probably the ENX04 peer pressure farm. And while I don't have this item yet, I would like to make a sugarcane farm. I am hoping a wandering trader blesses us with their presence, because of course in order to make rockets using the gunpowder from the ghast farm, we're going to need paper. We will also need a gravity duper in the world so that we can duplicate the sand that we've gotten from the wandering trader, just so that we can make things like concrete, and of course TNT, because I would like to get some netherite going. And to close things off, I think I would also like to do a quad mob farm, a nice little flushing system, nothing too fancy, nothing too sophisticated, just something that one also will pick up the gunpowder needs, but also give us things like bones and string, all of the good stuff that you get from mobs. So yeah, I think as far as farms go, these are all of the farms that I would like to get done. Moving past the farm, this is a 2-pager. We're going to need to actually focus on improving our gear. So I would like to have a max bow. I would also like to get ourselves a max sword and trident. We'll probably get 2 of these, one for smite and sharpness, as well as one for loyalty and channeling. I would also like to get ourselves a set of fortune 3 tools, as well as a set of silk touch tools. I would also like to make a maxed out turtle helmet, as well as a maxed out set of gold boots. And of course, going along with the rest of the helmet and the boots, we're just going to need a max full set of armor. Another cool thing that I think would be really awesome to get is a netherite pickaxe. Now this is a modded tool, which is this beautiful thing right here, and this thing allows you to break bedrock just as is and basically insta-mines everything without the need of a haste 2 beacon. Now it is very expensive as it requires 3 netherite ingots, and each ingot requires 4 blocks of netherite as well as another star. And while that is something that's on the list, I think something a little bit more attainable would just be a full set of netherite gear. This one we might not get to in this episode, but I'm putting it on here in hopes that we do. I would also like to get myself a netherite wand so that we can easily build things when it comes to our terraforming and stuff like that, those mass areas that we need to fill in with the builder's wand. This has so much more durability, so I'd like to get in a nice netherite wand as well as netherite tools to go with it. But I think that's something we'll chip away over time, and instead let's focus on some easier, more obtainable options for now. I think I'd like to start off building some farms to get us going, so let's make our way over to the nether and get going with a gold farm, a piglin bartering farm, and a ghast farm. What you got? Regular sand. We do have some dark oak. I'll take some of that. Ooh, I'll take the small drip leaf. After a nice couple of visits from the wandering trader, I went back to the nether to finish the gold farm, and then I worked to make a better sword to go along with this to help maximize how fast I can actually kill the zombie pigments for even more XP and of course gold. I had pretty much everything I needed already from the villagers, but I didn't have a Smite 5 book, so I needed to spend some time re-rolling the trades, and oh my goodness, I swear I was doing this for about 30 to 45 minutes before I finally settled on this Smite 5 sword that was a whole stack of emeralds. I'm hoping this is the first and last time I'm gonna need to use this trade. Since having easy access to the nether roof is never a bad thing, I also took some time to break the bedrock for easy access above and below the nether roof. With all of that new gold, we can then use it with our new piglin bartering farm, so we have all of the obsidian we need for our new ghast farm. I was also able to use all of that extra gravel to sieve for some extra diamonds that I can then use to make the parts needed to utilize Tom's simple storage at the piglin bartering farm and the gold farm for easy filtering and disposing of items I won't need. While all of these farms are not super OP, they are all extremely easy to build, and I think they are very starter world friendly, so that made sense for what I needed, especially since I don't have an Elytra to do anything technical and super extravagant. If you would like to build any of these farms and the ones that I build in the future in your world, there will always be a link down in the description below for you to reference. Since we don't have an Elytra yet, I plopped down this really simple railing system that I can use to travel between all of the different farms that I'll have access to on the roof. After finishing up the nether farms, I shifted my focus to the overworld and I built an automatic cobblestone generator that I can have running while I do the rest of my tasks around the village. This is not the permanent place for the farm nor the permanent design, as this one is very small and not really meant to be OP. But in order to make the cobblestone generator I plan on making and in the spot I want it to be, I actually need a ton of cobblestone first. So I figured why not just make this now so that I can start running while I'm doing all of our little tasks around the village here. Alright, we are officially done. We finished the gold farm, the bartering farm, and the ghast farm all in the nether, as well as that new mini auto cobble gen right behind me. It's not a completely lossless system, nor is it super fast, but I think having this run in the area while we're just here doing our thing will work really well. This has been running for maybe, I want to say, not even 30 minutes, and we already have this much cobblestone. I still obviously want to have this so that I can come in here with Silk Touch and get the actual smooth stone without having to worry about, you know, using a furnace or any fuel or anything to smelt it and have that continue to build up down here. So yeah, we're just gonna have this running. I just have to make sure I remember to turn it off every time I leave the area so that we don't like break the redstone and blow everything up. It's time to focus on our gear and making sure everything is fully maxed out and we have all full protection 4 on these pieces of armor and blast protection on this one. We're not too far away from fully maxed out gear, but we're not 100% there. I also would very much like to use all of the turtle shells that I've been getting from this turtle farm to finally make myself a turtle helmet to represent Turtle Gang. In order to properly max out all of our tools, we are going to be using our enchanting setup that is in the attic of our starter house. However, an enchantment table isn't going to provide us with all of the enchantments we need. So to pick up the slack, we are going to have to rely on some of our villagers to help out with the enchants that the enchantment table doesn't give us. However, as you can see here, this is all of the librarians that we have, and based off of everything else in here besides this singular slot, we don't have any more room in here. I didn't really want to do any building in this episode as I really wanted to focus more on efficiency. However, we're gonna need a second villager trading hall as we don't have any more room for any more villagers. I'm thinking right here we can throw down a nice little simple build that can be dedicated specifically to just our librarian, and I think it would be cool since the librarians have also been used specifically to help us max out our tools and armor, that the bottom of this build could be like a storefront shop, showcase all of the different armor trims once we have them, and then the upstairs will be for our librarian. So without further ado, let's get to building. Well, I forgot to put torches back in there. All right. That was That was kind of cooked. My poor building. With lights added to stop any more creepers from blowing things up, I was finally able to move into building the second story of this build. We'll touch base on the bottom floor a little bit later, but I figured it'd be good to start adding in the librarians, maybe even some armorers, weaponsmiths, toolsmiths, all those good villagers into this build, so that all things to do with armor and tools are accessed in one place. Once the build was completed, I decided to buy all new gear from the weaponsmith, toolsmith, and armorer, so that I could grind down all of the included enchantments and use our enchanting table to get the bulk of our new enchantments. It took a while for me to roll what I wanted, and I ended up running out of levels, so I decided it would be a good idea to make a second enchanting area at the gold farm so I could really be happy with the base enchantments available and not have to keep running back and forth for all of the XP needed. I probably spent upwards of an hour here just constantly re-rolling to get the same crap enchantments, and it really made me remember just how much I dislike using an enchantment table. So instead of sticking with that, I looked to the villagers to help fill in everything else I needed to make sure all of the gear was fully maxed out. This whole process was just a whole lot of time spent at the gold farm and using an anvil to combine everything. And as we head into day 550, over halfway to our 1000 days without popping a totem goal, I am much happier knowing we are fully geared up and protected as we need. As you can see, we are all fully decked out here. The only thing that we're missing at this point in time is Swift Sneak, which in a normal Superflat world would be impossible to get. But with the Superflat Plus mod, we have some exciting ways to still get access to that. While we were on the whole path of redoing our armor and tools, I also decided it wouldn't be too bad to redo our storage system. Of course, as we're entering almost day 560, we have a lot of crap that we need. So I just kind of redid the storage here, labeled things a little bit more, added some barrels up here so that we could have dedicated storage for some of these items that we were starting to get a lot of, made much more space for all of the different types of wood. Is now minus jungle, we actually have all of the different wood types now. We're just waiting for a jungle sapling and then we'll have all of them. So yeah, I just did a little bit of organizing there to help make farm building and things in the future go by just a little bit faster. And if we look at our to-do list, we have a really good amount of farms done. We're about halfway done, and all of our tools are all done. So the only things we have left is to actually do the netherite aspect of it, and of course finish up the rest of these farms. But I'm thinking in order to actually fully max out all of my armor and get it where I want it to be, we'll need it to be netherite. So I'm thinking let's move on to this quad mob farm so that we can get even more gunpowder, as the gas farm isn't super fast for gunpowder. And then we could potentially move into fighting the dragon, getting ourselves an elytra, opening the end portal, and then making a gravity duper to do some netherite mining. Let's get into it, shall we? I'm gathering all of the materials needed for this flushing quad mob farm, and I needed to come to the nether to get some soul soil to make some the campfire thingies, right? And I came into this nether fortress because there's a soul sand valley right over in this direction, and I'm just going to show you real quick my statistics. The very first wither skeleton I ever saw, I just killed it and it dropped its head. I wasn't recording because I was just like, oh, there's no way that I'm gonna kill this wither and it's gonna give me its skull, and then it did. So you know, there's that. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna complain about that at all. The farm I went with is the same one I've been doing for years, and honestly, I have no idea who the original creator of this is, but it's a very simple and easy design, just using a bunch of observers, dispensers, and some redstone at the top to flush all of the mobs down into a kill chamber. I went AFK at this for about 2 hours, and I was very happy with the results that we got. Okay, y'all, I'm losing my mind. We just got done with building the mob farm. I came home to bring back all of the gunpowder. I used some of the backpacks that we got from the mob farm itself to transport all of the gunpowder just so that we have it here. But we have this really pretty guy standing behind us, and I think they have something good for us. We have sugarcane. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. I was about to break down and go the route of making making a hero of the village farm with cartographers for them to throw me paper instead. But now we can finally make a sugarcane farm and we have nothing to worry about. So let's come in here, let's grab some emeralds, and let's finally get our hands on some sugarcane. Oh, I am so excited. That is the last piece of the puzzle we have been missing for everything pretty much that we need from the Wandering Trader. I'm not really sure what else we're missing. There's probably just like a handful of things from the Wandering Trader that we don't have, but we have pretty much everything important that we need from the Wandering Trader thus far, which is very, very exciting. And what's really great with the Superflat Plus mod, we've worked in the ability to use a bone meal on some items that you wouldn't traditionally be able to bone meal. So we can actually come to the sugarcane and we can bone meal it. I'm pretty sure this, as well as cactus, literally go all the way to world height, so we can get an insane amount of bone meal. So I think before we go and defeat the dragon, we actually spend some time bone milling the sugarcane behind us so that we can make ourselves a nice sugarcane farm. And the sugarcane farm is now complete. I've been wanting a windmill in this area as I feel like the windmills fit in pretty nicely with all of these crops that we have over here, especially those wheat farms in the back. But outside of just being pretty, I wanted it to be functional. So we stuck our sugarcane farm in here. It's definitely nothing OP. It hasn't even produced anything yet. This is just the sugarcane that I put in here from building. So nothing has been produced yet. It's a relatively small farm. It's only 13 pieces of sugarcane in total. We'll be growing 5 little sections on each side, all over mud, collecting through the hoppers, coming down this hopper chain into this barrel that then feeds down here through these hoppers into these extra barrels here. So it's gonna take a while. This thing probably won't ever fill up. We would have to be in this area for quite some time for that to fill up, so that should be more than enough storage for how slow that farm will be. Of course, eventually we're going to be having an industrial district where we actually have our big impressive farm set up, but for now this all works to have everything in this general area as I work to continue to build up this village, especially once we focus on building up the mountain, adding in, landscaping, more decoration, things like that, getting it some armor stands, some villagers walking around, all of the decorating final touches before we move on from this area into bigger and better places. All of that will be slowly going over time and getting us the resources we need to thrive and survive. With more and more farms getting checked off the list, it was time to focus more into the efforts of getting ancient debris for netherite. Since this cobblestone generator has been going in the background for so long, we have a good amount of cobble built up. So I took my hammer and I started to break that cobble down into some gravel so that I could then turn that gravel into sand to make some TNT for easier mining. I had done some mining at the very start of this episode just by digging alongside the chunk borders, which honestly was very painful and slow. So I wanted to make this process just a little bit faster with some TNT instead. I do have to say though, I was a little disappointed with the amount of ancient debris we ended up getting compared to the amount of TNT used, but in the end, we still got enough to make all of our tools and armor netherite. After spending an hour or two in the nether, we came back and started to prepare for the dragon fight, as I realized that I can't actually turn any of my gear into netherite without an upgrade template, and I honestly hate bastion raiding without the ability to quickly fly away. So we set our sights on taking over the end. I wanted to do some end city raiding right after the fight, so I took time to prepare everything I needed to stay in the end for a while. For the fight itself, I brought some empty bottles so that I could collect some dragon breaths, both for the achievement and to avoid getting hurt by it. And then I also brought some slow falling and strength potions for an extra layer of security. I also brought things like cobblestone and a woodcutter to both pillar up to any crystals if needed, and of course help with end busting later on. With extra food in hand, I made my way over to the end to finally defeat the dragon. Oh boy. I shouldn't be nervous because the dragon fight is just so easy, but I always am. Alright, let's get to it. Oh. Ooh, this is actually a really good spawn. Let's start destroying. Oh god, it's right above me. Please don't shoot me. Yeah, just take some of this. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna yoink, yoink, yoink. I'm gonna climb up to the tallest one. I'm gonna climb up to this one, just so that I can get a good view. Don't hit me off. I'm gonna do a slow falling, just in case. Easy. 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 Oh, it's dragon killing time. Oh, I'm falling. Good thing I have slow falling on. I just walked right off the edge. Ooh, let's pop this potion of strength. Alright, let me smack you in the face just a little bit. Ah, I was almost done. Oh yeah, we just need a couple more shots and then she's out of here. Y'all ever think about how messed up the dragon fight is? Like, we literally come to her domain and we kill her and it's like this achievement. You know, that's kind of messed up. Whack! There it is! Right as our slow falling wore out. Hell yeah, dude. Oh! I'm sorry. Oh god. Oh god. I'm sorry. I apologize. Alright, can we chill out? It was an accident. I didn't even mean to look at you like that, bro. Like, I was in my inventory. You are ruining a momentous moment. A momentum. I don't know. Yeah, give me all the XP. Yoink. Beautiful. The next generation. A monumental, momentous moment. Monumental. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. This is a momentous moment, you know? Do you think we can have the same luck as, what was it, season 2 or season 1? We out.
Excuse me? Hello?
Here we go. Hello? Oh, chorus fruit. I need some of that. Ooh, let's not shoot myself. All right. Oh, that has to have a ship, right? Has to. We're Hackermans, 32 chunks. Yeah! Let's freaking go, dude! I am telling you guys, since day 1, this is the world. This is literally the best world I've ever played. Well, let's go get on our Elytra. We also need to be on the lookout for some ancient cities and some geodes. I would like to get some amethyst shards, and of course we need Swift Sneak. And we also need a Elytra upgrade template, which is only achieved by killing the warden. So yeah, we have to kill the warden. The city at the end of the game. Yeah! Upgrades, people, upgrades. My first wings So exciting. Once we had our Elytra, we were easily able to raid a bunch of different end cities for things like diamonds, iron, gold, tools, and shulker shells. We were also able to get a ton of armor trims since we've added them to the loot table. We were also able to get some resources from a geode nearby before we finally found ourselves an ancient city for us to loot. Since ancient cities are not normally in the end, they do generate a bit differently and don't have as many shriekers around, so things honestly weren't as scary. Looting these cities was very easy to do, and I even cheesed killing the warden not once but twice for a netherite upgrade template. After a couple of hours of fun, we made our way back to the overworld to drop off our loot and then headed over to the nether to raid some bastions to finally get our hands on a netherite upgrade template. With that in hand, we were finally able to finish upgrading all of our tools to become completely overpowered. Upgrades, people, upgrades! And I'm thinking while we're here, let's add our trim. I think I'm liking the look of, yeah. I always do amethyst. And then for my helmet, we're gonna splurge a little bit. That looks so much better. We are all decked out. With an Elytra now available and the end portal open, I could also move to making the last 2 farms that we wanted to do. I honestly forgot to record the making of the gravity duper, so while I don't have footage of that process, you can see that the final result helps provide us with almost 2 double chests of sand in only about 30 minutes of AFK time. So this design works really well. Moving on to the fortress farm, which is another ENXO 4 design, this was honestly pretty easy to make as well. What took the most time was just trying to find the perfect location for this, but thankfully I was able to find a fortress that wasn't too far away, so I could easily make my way back here for things like wither skeleton skulls, blaze rods, bones, and even some gold. After about an hour of AFK time here, I was able to get over 2 stacks of wither skeleton skulls, and with the end portal opened and accessible, I was easily able to use this to kill a bunch of withers and make myself a ton of beacons. I kind of want to fight a raid and test out this new armor because, you know, why not? We've put in so much effort to get fully netherite armor and max out all of our tools. And now that we have beacons to keep us safe, you know, why not? Why not fight a raid, you know? Boom. That's all I needed. All right, it's raid time, baby. There they are. Hey, little fellas. See ya. Yeah, walk into the iron farms. Yeah, these iron farms are great. I request them to continue spawning right here, please and thank you. Hello? Get off my house. You're not supposed to spawn up there. See ya. Bye. Please don't spawn on that roof again. They did. They didn't listen to me. I said don't. And then you did. Oh, I'm trying to hit this evoker so that I can... Yeah. Well, I guess I don't mind you guys spawning up there if I can fling you off of the roof. That works. Oh, frick, you hit hard. Honestly, this is more like a TV show for me. Who needs a raid farm where you have iron farms? Like, look at this. Every single one of them just went into the iron farms. I didn't have to kill a single one of them. I just gotta wait for the iron golem to spawn and take her out. Area is literally perfect for fighting raids, dude. I think that's gonna call it for us here today, gamers. We got a ton of progress done in this episode, and I'm very happy with everything that we were able to achieve. We got so much farm building done. We even got to have a couple more buildings pop up, which I know wasn't the original goal, but hey, it's always nice to see them pop up and continue to build this area up. I'm very happy that we were able to get all of our armor all done. We got a ton of farms, so now honestly, survival in this world is guaranteed. Of course, with hardcore, there's always a chance that you just do something stupid, you pop a totem, or you just straight up die. So we're not 100% invincible, that's for sure. However, with totems and OP armor, as well as beacons to give us buffs for resistance, regeneration, and strength, there's not much that can be done to harm us in this world. As long as we continue to play things safe, don't put ourselves in stupid situations, we'll be able to hopefully stay in this world for a very long time. When it comes to our to-do list, we did get pretty much everything done, minus minus the Elytra pickaxe. But honestly, I think that's something that I'm just gonna chip away over time, and maybe we'll do some big episode in the future dedicated strictly to mining for Elytra. I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch today's episode. If you made it all the way to the end, go ahead and put a yeah in the comments down below. And if you had a favorite farm that we did today, let me know down in the comments below which one you liked the most. I hope you all have a fantastic day or night, whatever time it is for the world, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.